is there a reason why on live coaching in Invest Tools they shy away? You know, when you want to talk about, hey, how do I fix this, or what are these options? They seem to shy away from that kind of stuff.
Is there, and I can't really speak for Invest Tools. I can speak when I was there as a vice president of the company. Is there a reason why you call live coaching they shy away from a lot of it? And if I had to guess, I would say if it was my company, that I own the company, that it would probably be the same answer. Would be that if it was my company and you called me for specific guidance, at what point does it cross the line to where it's a recommendation?
Yeah.
And I'm not licensed to give you the recommendation, that the SEC now comes up and slaps a big fine again. To where if I'm just showing you what I'm doing on my own account, I'm not recommending you do anything. I'm not recommending what you do with your own account. I'm showing you what I do. So that kind of, and I would say it's probably
so that seems to be.
It's a very, very tightly regulated industry.
Yeah. So it seems to be, you know, you can, like you said, the education part, you can get into it in the live trading rooms. You know, you talk about changing stuff, but if you're doing stuff and you're going and you're saying, okay, you know, what are the options here? It seems to be pretty tight to get beyond that.
Here's one way that you might want to go around that, and I'm not trying to teach you about the system, but if you say, I'm looking at this, if you don't say that this is my own personal account, I'm in this live trading account, if you don't say, what do you recommend, that's where you get really cut the line, because you can't recommend anything. If you say, hey, I'm doing some paper trades, I'm looking at this position over here, and I was just thinking, if this does this, would my options be to do this, this, and this? And this is what I like the most. Does that make sense to you? That's how you can phrase something where it no longer looks like a recommendation. Because you're asking the questions and you're providing the answers and just seeing if they agree with your answers.
I'm really not using the coaching too much anymore, but I found that to be
it's a drawback with any kind of.
I found that tough getting in there. You know, get in and then, like you say, the hardest thing for everybody to do is to manage it. So
I agree. The hard thing to do is manage it, and that's why almost
to learn how to manage it.
Investors is fantastic. I like Investors. I think they have a fantastic product. I really do. I know that if it wasn't for an educational company that I went to before Investors, I wouldn't learn any. I wouldn't know what I was doing here. I was originally a grocery manager. That's what I did for a living. I managed grocery stores. So how does a grocery manager who has no idea about the stock market get in the stock market? I go to college. What are they going to teach me in college?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You can make your money back.
Right? So you're going to have to pay your money to learn something where most of you already paid your money. So now that you're there, most companies are going to teach you the education part. And when it starts to get into life coaching, it goes from, is it now education or it's a recommendation? So that's why the coaches, no matter who you're with, are going to try to keep it as educational as possible without giving you any specifics. And that's where I'm able to cross the line. I couldn't do what I'm doing today if it wasn't for companies like Investors. But I really like teaching you now what the next step is, how to put it all together. You know what a car is. Let's drive the car together in every possible scenario and show you what your difference is. So when you drive it by yourself, you'll feel much more comfortable.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Why do you use a 12, 20, and 9 on your MACD setting?
Good question. I like that one. Why do I use the 12, 26, and 9?
Is it 26?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the answer is because that's what comes up. I know it's strange, but remember I said keep it as simple as possible.
Okay.
With anybody who creates their own technical analysis, you know, you got Wilder, John Appel, I think his name was Appel. But anybody who creates their own technical analysis, they've done all the back testing for it.
Oh.
Whatever they think works, I'm good with that,
okay.
Right? If I can just understand how to use it without showing me too much of the engineering behind it, hey, if that's high, that's overbought, don't make it any more difficult for me. So whatever they tell me is normal, that's what I'm using.
Got it.
Yeah, and that's the only reason. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm not that bright. I do know how to trade, but I'm not that bright. If you meet me personally, just talk to me, you'll know I'm not that bright.
What was your actual education?
What's my actual education? I graduated from high school. I have a little bit of college.
Yeah.
You'll never amount to anything.
And I never, but I've been in the stock market for 12 years, which isn't a long time, but I feel very comfortable in the stock market. It took me probably 2 years before I started to really understand and grasp the concept of the stock market. 5 years before I really felt good that no matter what happens, I'm probably always going to be successful in the stock market. And that really was until I just learned how to, what are my other options? This can't be, that can't be, that's in my trade, that's all I have. It's got to be something else. So you just, at first you just put them on paper. What if? And then if it does this, okay, that's what the what if is. Now that I'm in this money trade, what if, and you just keep drawing across.
I have a question though. You talk about this what ifs. You're in the middle of the day, the market is going up. right? It's falling, going up, falling. When do you have time to really itemize all those what-if scenarios?
When you do all the what-ifs after the market closes each day. Unless I'm trading futures, I don't even look at the market intraday because there's too many what-ifs.
Right.
But at the end of the trading day, everybody who wanted to buy and wanted to sell has placed their order. So now whatever was going to happen has happened. Now I've got the true representation. If it's 11 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time for me, I'm on Florida, I now know what's happened between 9:30 and 11, but maybe not everybody's placed their trade yet. But at the end of the day, everybody who's going to place their trade is done. Now I can really see what happened that day. So if the market opened higher, if it opened and then rallied, at the end of the day sold off, now you got one of those hanging men, shooting star, that's a bearish position. At the end of the day, I'll see that. I won't see that in the middle of the day. I wait till the end of the day.
So you do nothing during
Nothing in
the
the middle of
day?
the day. Enjoy my family, enjoy my friends, shop, do whatever I want to do. Go swimming, go out to my house, take the boat out, whatever I want to do. Absolutely. Yeah, this is truly a business for those who don't want to work. If you want to work, you trade futures, and I like trading futures. But if you don't want to work, you trade options, and you do them after the market closes. Too many scenarios what ifs in the middle of the day. Too many what ifs.
How many positions would you have at any one time? And some of the Thinkorswim speakers talk about portfolio management, where they almost forget individual trades after they enter them, and they manage their inventory with delta, bias, and volatility,
Good question. So
exposure.
do you want to be a market maker? Do you just want to be somebody who invests and makes cash?
That invest and make cash.
Well, that's one.
And if you invest and make cash, you're going to probably focus more on the individual positions. If you want to be somebody who manages positions and manages portfolios, you look at the overall portfolio. Both are correct. Neither one's wrong.
Well, how many
My average positions, I'll be in my average positions. I'm not going to look at my position and say, oh, is my account, delta neutral, is it weighted too heavy with this? I don't look at that. I'm not too concerned about
How many
that.
positions at any one time would you
At any time, I might have 8 positions open
Okay.
at the most.
Tuan would like to know, is the Perfecting Profit service something for people who have to work during the day?
Perfecting profits is exactly for people who work in the day. We don't do any trades in the middle of the day. All of our trades are done after the market closes for the next trading day. So if you work in the middle of the day, it's exactly for you because we'll never do any trades in the middle of the day. And the reason we don't do that, it would be unfair to you to do that because I might say, oh, I closed out this position at the max today because I'm using all of my futures indicators for the exact highs and lows today, and I closed out the exact high. I sent an email out to you. It came out about an hour later. Oh, but you didn't get to the market close anyway. Now the stock's really sold off. I'm sorry, you didn't make a profit. And that would be wrong. So I want to make sure I'm in the exact same position that you are, so you have just the exact same chance of making a profit entry next trade that I do. So if we only do our trades after the market's closed, we all have the exact same chance. So if you've worked in the day, this is perfect for you. Option trading is perfect for you if you work in the day, whether you use Perfecting Profits or not.
But what happened in between Tuesday? If there is some correction to do, some adjustment, do you send an email?
So what happens between Tuesday night when we have our Perfecting Profit session and next Tuesday?
Right.
There's an update page on the website for incompare.com. It's just go there and click on the link on the left that says Perfecting Profits. There's an update page. It shows all positions, and it says we're going to make an update through this. So you just check it. But if I have an update, I'll send you an email at the same time. And it's going to do this. And you just go back to the website and see what the update is. And if it's a big one, if I say I'm not really sure because it could do this, this, or this, I'm going to outline all 3 possible, because sometimes I'm not sure. So I'll say, there's my choices. If it does this, I'll do a video of that one so you can actually see it much more closely. But if it's just, hey, it did this, and so we're going to change our stop, we're going to change our exit from $3 to $2.90, that's just an email. So, yeah. Plus, it'll be on the website, so you can always check that 24/7 for an update.